Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
We're starting off tonight by following several breaking news stories in our area. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Stefan Reels. This is Fox 61. The first breaking news story is in Hartford, where police are investigating a homicide. And the shooting happened on Francis Street, which is where we now find Fox 61's Jalen Anderson. Jalen, what is the latest on this investigation? Here we just identified the victim.
That's right, Stephen. Hartford police say this is homicide number 1 of the year for the city. Now, that victim was 26 years old. Now, as you could take a look behind me, the scene has died down, but investigators are still on the scene, taking pictures of the scene, and it is still pretty much active now. If you take a look at your screen of what the scene looked like shortly after officers arrived on scene, Hartford police responded to multiple calls about shots being fired around 6 Friday night. When officers arrived, they found a man in his 20s with multiple gunshot wounds. He was transported to the hospital where he arrived in critical condition, but later was pronounced dead. Hartford PD say they are gathering evidence from cameras in the area and noted that since the investigation started, they have recovered several pieces of evidence.
Several citizen callers reporting shots fired. Officers got here pretty quickly, located a vehicle that was crashed into a telephone pole. That vehicle contained an unresponsive driver suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds. This is number one homicide of the year. We ended the year last year with 11, which is probably the lowest we've ever had on record. So had quite a good year last year. I'm hoping to have a repeat this year. These things do happen, unfortunately.
Now, Hartford Major Crimes Unit and other investigators are expected to stay on scene for several hours. Now, if you have any information about what happened, you are asked to contact the Hartford Police Department. For now, live in Hartford, Jalen Anderson, Fox 61.
Thank you, Jay. And we're also following breaking news out of Durham tonight, where Lifestar was called to the scene of a serious crash on Route 79. State police say 3 vehicles were involved in the crash on Madison Road. 1 person had serious injuries and was taken to the local hospital. Right now, Route 79 is closed, but we'll update you when the road is back open or we get new information. And we also have breaking news out of Brookfield. Route 7 remains closed after a person was hit by a vehicle. Now, according to CT Roads, the northbound lanes are shut down between exits 11 and 12 following the crash, which happened just before 8 p.m. Emergency crews are on scene right now, and the extent of the injuries is still unknown. And we have more breaking news, this time out of New Haven, where a second police officer has now been put on leave. New Haven police say Officer Evan Kelly is accused of using excessive force during an arrest in October of 2025, while Sergeant Javier Montalvo faces allegations of inappropriate contact while on duty on New Year's Day. Internal Affairs has opened investigations, and state police are now handling the excessive force case. State police are also investigating former New Haven Police Chief Carl Jacobson over alleged misuse of department funds. And more breaking news, this time in Minnesota, where the Justice Department is now investigating whether Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey impeded immigration enforcement. Sources say the probe is examining a possible conspiracy statute violation. Both leaders are pushing back against this, and Walz and Frey called the investigation an attempt at political intimidation, and Walz's office says it has yet to receive a formal notice. And this comes as a federal judge in Minnesota has ruled that immigration officers cannot detain or use tear gas against peaceful protesters. This decision comes as thousands continue to monitor ICE and Border Patrol operations tied to the Trump administration and its immigration crackdown in the Twin Cities area. The ruling stems from a lawsuit filed by 6 Minnesota activists. And for all of the latest breaking news of what we talked about and more, stay on Fox 61 on air, online, and at fox61.com and the free Fox 61 News app. To get that, you can just scan the QR code you see on your screen right now. And moving on over to weather, our weather impact team is tracking our next weather maker. Multiple chances of snow that could cause some slick roads this weekend. We've seen a January thaw earlier this week, and now it's a little bit back to reality as far as the cold weather goes. Parts of Connecticut is under a winter weather advisory, but you've had enough of hearing from me. We have meteorologist Sam Sampieri here with a little more of what we can expect. Tim Lammer said it earlier. It's not really going to be that paralyzing winter weather that we're going to see this weekend.
That's right, Stefan, not at all. In fact, it's almost mood snow. But at any rate, we are watching this big upper level low. And so where's the snow coming from? Because it's all over the place right here. You see all this moisture starting to come right up into this area through Kentucky, getting into Cincinnati, and starting to get into southwestern Pennsylvania. This will be ours by tomorrow morning. And here it is, 4 or 5 o'clock. We can get some snow showers, and then 7 o'clock, and we'll have on and off snow. And a band of snow will set up north and west of Hartford and gradually move through the region by 3 to 4 o'clock, and then it's out of here. So this system is not a big one, but certainly something that for some of us could be a little bit of a nuisance, right? 19 Goshen, 25 Thomaston, 25 in Washington, 22 Meriden, 32 in Brantford. You could see in the 20s for the most part, a little bit warmer down along the shore. Now, one thing to note, there's a southwesterly wind, so temperatures are going to stop falling. They're going to kind of hold steady. Not much in the way of wind chill in this regime right now. So tonight we'll have temperatures down in the teens and 20s and periods of snow tomorrow in the 30s. It could mix with and change the rain down in parts of southeastern Connecticut. I'll talk all about this system and also the one possible for Sunday late in the day into early Monday, and all the details on your Fox 61 7-day forecast. Stefan?
Looking forward to that, Sam. Thank you. A Hartford man will spend the next 35 years of his life in a prison after he attempted to kill a police officer back in 2021. A Superior Court jury found 35-year-old Jose Cajigas guilty back in October last year. But today it was announced not only will the Hartford man spend 35 years in jail, he will also spend 5 additional years on special parole. And it all stems from this incident you're about to see.
You need help? You need a ride? What's going on? Stand by, all right? You need an ambulance? Problem.
Now, this was body cam video from October 2021, and it shows the moment a Hartford police officer first met Cajigas. You heard the officer had tried to see if Cajigas needed medical help, but according to the state, when the officer asked if he had been drinking being Cajigas, his attitude began to change, but eventually said yes, and he might need help. The officer tried to get their radio, but they heard a bang and then saw that the side door window of their car had shattered. The officer drove away while Cajigas took off. The Hartford man was later caught and was found with a firearm which had matched the shell found at the original scene where this all took place and the bullet projectile found inside the police car. Cajigas was found guilty of attempted murder, assault on a public safety personnel, and criminal possession of a firearm. Now, in response to this sentence, State Attorney Charmise Walcott said what happened that October night was, quote, detestable, and this sentence is a clear signal of the intolerance of Cajigas' actions. Now, meanwhile, Seymour police say a Danbury man was killed in a head-on crash on Route 34 yesterday. The department shared this picture of the aftermath. You see that on your screen. Officials say 51-year-old Wade Meeker and an 18-year-old woman crashed before 3:45 in the afternoon. Officers tell us they found Meeker unresponsive with no pulse, and EMTs tried to save him, but he died at the scene. As for the woman, she was hospitalized and is expected to recover, but we don't know at this time what caused the crash. But Seymour police said they got a heads up from Monroe police just 15 minutes before the crash that Meeker's car was being driven erratically on that same road in their town. Now, the state police said a tractor trailer hit a pedestrian on I-84 this morning, and that person was taken to a hospital. Right now, we're still working to learn how bad the injuries are, but police say it happened just after 8 a.m. near exit 59 in Manchester. Part of the highway was closed down, but it has since reopened. A New Haven man was charged today, months after police say he told them he hit a man who was walking his dog in North Haven. Donnie Oliveira is accused of driving under the influence when he hit Beckett Poppy and his dog in late September. Now, this happened on Montouise on Quinnipiac Avenues. Poppy later died at a hospital and his dog died, unfortunately, at the scene. Investigators say deadly crashes like this take time to investigate, and that's why it took months to charge Oliveira. And a few days after a Bethel officer was charged in connection to a deadly crash in Shelton last year, her brother was arrested. Carlos Biamonte was arraigned today after state police say he was speeding and driving too close behind another car on Route 8. It was later determined that he was under the influence at the time. Police say he hit that car, which caused it to hit another car. A girl who was a passenger died from her injuries, and officials say Biamonte left the scene. His sister, Jessenia, is accused of taking too long to call 911 after knowing about the crash. And a 74-year-old woman was flown to the hospital, and 3 others were hospitalized last night after state police say they crashed in Hampton. They say that she was seriously hurt, and troopers say the driver failed to stay in his lane on Route 6 or Hartford Turnpike. They tell us just after 7, the driver hit a rock off the side of the road and then a guardrail and then flipped onto its roof. The driver was given an infraction. And a major water utility could still be sold after a judge ruled that Pura's initial denial of the sale went against state law. Pura initially denied the Regional Water Authority's bid to buy Aquarion from Eversource. The regulator said the merger and the resulting board of directors was not in the public interest. Some lawmakers praised the denial, saying the approval would have doubled customers' bills. The RWA, Aquarion, and Eversource argued in its appeal that Pura doesn't have the authority to override the law establishing the new company and its management. The judge agreed, and the court stopped short of requiring Pura to approve the merger. Rather, they must follow the law and make reasonable decisions with regulatory discretion. We've reached out to Pura for comment, and we are still waiting to hear back at this time.